Hello, group. Welcome to Action Rock Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. Today, I'm going to rank the 6 proper funk rock classics from the wristbound label, the early Funkadelic records in the early 70s. You ready? Yes, they list 8. I'll explain why later. But why is Funkadelic important? Why is P-Funk important? And of course, people kind of forget P-Funk, the Funkadelic and Parliament Funkadelic. They forget the rock part, the psych part that we're going to discuss today. But without them, would we really have the Red Hot Chili Peppers and other funk rock bands that you can name? Well, Red Hot Chili Peppers got a record produced by George Clinton just before they did this iconic record. So, George Clinton and James Brown are the icons of funk. But before George Clinton was an icon of funk, he was doing funk rock and funk psych. And it's beautiful. So we're going to talk about it. We're not going to be talking about Mothership Connection or the Placebo Syndrome from Parliament. That's different. When George Clinton realized if he wanted to make money, especially with this huge gang of musicians he was lugging around, he better give the people what they wanted, and they wanted funk. And boy howdy, he gave it to them. Like I said, him and James Brown, sliced stone, you're a little bit behind. So, let's start with number 6. America Eats Us Young. Cool cover. Pretty out there double album Gatefold front and back cover. Yep, you'll sick. In a good way. It's number 6 of the funk rock albums. Because in this double record, well, it's a bit of jazz to it. A lot of instrumentals. Doesn't have the rock and roll that we're going to get in the 5 we're ranking above them. Loose Booty's cool. Pretty funky. Fillmore, I Call My Baby Pussycat. Ms. Lucifer's Love. It's just not the rock and roll you expect. So this is not a recommended record, or how cool it looks, don't start with this. Do the other 5 first. And if you're into it, then check this one out. It is cool. I love it. Just doesn't have that rock psych that you want from this period of Funkadelic. And this from 72. So they done psych already. They do psych later. They just miss out on this 72 record. Number 5. Cosmic Slop. The year after they did America Eats Us Young. Now they get into rock and psych. How's that for a cover? Cosmic Slop indeed, huh? Iconic Brad cover. Never mind what this slop is, okay? Oh yeah, that's how you present it. Pretty freaky. Title track, absolute classic. No compute. Can't stand the strain. You know. Can't miss what you can't measure. Nappy dugout. Yeah, other than the title track, it really doesn't have a second song to rank with it. But Cosmic Slop, absolutely classic song, as we'll talk about in a while. Again. Now, to answer some of you know-it-alls are screaming at me right now going, Mr. Richard, Uncle Richard, there are 8 westbound Funkadelic records. Yes, they are. The 2 we're not counting. Are these 2. Let's take it to the stage in Tales of Kid Funkadelic. These are funk records, okay? No rock to it. Well, some rock, maybe. It's funk. This is when George Clinton's deciding and realizing, if my record label's going to survive, not his record label, he didn't own it, but Westbound is going to survive and give me my money. And I want to support all these musicians I'm lugging around. I better give people what they want. So these are funk records. They're good funk records. Maybe great funk records. Well, they are. They are great. But no. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about funk rock, funk psych, right? Psych soul. Not those 2, despite the covers. And not to confuse you more, I didn't screw up, right? Right, I didn't screw up. Just after they released, there it is. Just after they released Tales of Kid Funkadelic, a couple months later, they released Hardcore Charlie's. These were recorded at the same time, but they started their contract with Warner Brothers for this one. This is a Warner Brothers release. This is the last of the Westbound. So, a month or 2 after this comes out, this comes out. even though there's songs in the same session. You know, they knew what was going on with the wristband. Wristband wasn't for long after that. So, you know, both of them funk records. This looks like a wristbound record, but it's not a wristbound record. It's Warner Brothers. And a hint on Hardcore Charlie's on what's about to happen is they do a live version of Cosmic Slop on this record because the new wristband wasn't much longer. So in order to have a copy for people to buy of Cosmic Slop, because Cosmic Slop is going to go out of print along with everything else we're talking about, they re-recorded Cosmic Slop, and so that people had a physical copy to buy to remember the song. And so there's a hint. It wasn't until about 89, the 90s, that all the wristbound records we're talking about came back to print. We're talking my teenage years in my 20s, that all the wristbound Funkadelic records was out of print. And you had to find a used copy to have wristbound Funkadelic records. Of course, when you're a teenager in your 20s, that's forever. To wait till your 30s to buy all those classic records again. But yeah, that's why we're not talking about those two records. And of course, this doesn't count either. Of course, this is the iconic Funkadelic record. Comes out 2 years after Hardcore Charlie's. One Nation Under a Groove. But, you know, this is very, very commercial funk. One Nation Under the Groove is the iconic funk track. It's funk. It isn't rock. There's rock on this record. George tried to get black people to like funk rock. Gave them a few songs on this. Let me find my notes. Instead of trying to read. These are reader glasses, you know, and shades. What happened to my note? It's below here. Who Says a Funk Band Can't Play Rock is on this. Great tune. Lunch Metaphobia. Think Ain't Illegal Yet. Oh yeah, that's rock. And of course, with wristbound being out of print and out of business, they did a live version of Maggot Brain with Kid Funkadelic on guitar because the original guitarist Eddie Hazel scrammed. Oh, I love this record. It's got the funk, it's got the rock and roll. I love that. Okay, but it's a Warner Brothers release. It's commercial funk with some rock and roll to it. It's not what we're talking about. And even the rock has no psych to it. It's pretty straightforward rock, really. So, not what we're talking about. But it's a very worthwhile record. For the handful of rock you do have on it. one more thing I want to mention, reminding myself where the song is. Here it is. Tales of Kid Funkadelic. Two things. One, Michael Hampton, Kid Funkadelic, grew up in the black neighborhood, an isolated black neighborhood down the street from me. Graduated from the local high school, John Marshall High School. Shout out to you. And he went straight from John Marshall High School to touring with Funkadelic. You know, living the dream. And so he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because of that. Basically replaced Katie Hazel. And he did okay. So he's from the neighborhood. Good for him. Another thing I want to say about this record. On YouTube, find I'm Never Gonna Tell It. I'm Never Gonna Tell It. Find a live version of that on YouTube. It is epic. Epic version. With this young lady on violin, Lily Hayden. Absolutely iconic. She also does a great version of Maggot Brain on violin. Yes, they had a white violinist in P-Funk in the 21st century. Absolutely. But I'm Never Gonna Tell It. You have to experience it. Epic. Not just a short ditty. They made that into amazing epic. Everybody is jamming on that. Find it on YouTube. Am I ready to return to my countdown? Sure I am. Number 4. Free Your Mind. Just to play nice with YouTube. And your ass will follow. Indeed it will. Indeed your ass will. Title track is great. This is where we're really getting good. Elegy and Light. Well, that may be a bit much for some of you. A little gospel to that. I Want to Know If It's Good to You. Funky Dollar Bill. Great tune. Friday Night, August 14th. Title track. Free Your Mind and Your Ass Will Follow. Number 4. And it's a damn good record. No asterisk. Here's another record. No asterisk. Number 3. Funk rock, and psych is listed as. Standing on the verge of getting it on. Opens with Red Hot Mama. Absolutely iconic. Alex in My Fantasies, I'll Stay, Sexy Rays. The title track, Standing on the Verge of Getting It On. Is it politically correct to... I think it's actually sympathetic. I'm not sure. You have to listen to the lyrics closer than I do. Jimmy's got a little bit of bitch in him. Trans, as we say today. And to finish this, title track is great. But the first song, Red Hot Mama. Last song, a successor to Maggot Brain and just letting Eddie Hazel jam. Good thoughts, bad thoughts. Absolutely amazing track. On YouTube, you can find a video going with good thoughts, bad thoughts. I'll take some science fiction movie that I didn't watch, but it fits the song. Absolutely brilliant record. Can't go wrong starting here. Free your mind. Listen to the top three first. Yeah, and this is the last truly classic Funkadelic record from Wristbound in '74. Absolutely great record. I did re-listen to all the Wristbound Funkadelic to prepare for this. It was a nice time. What would be number 2 or number 1? You ready? Number 2, the self-titled debut. Acid rock, psych funk, soul, psych soul. Mommy was a Funkadelic, I bet you. Music for my mother. I got a thing, you got a thing. Everybody's got a thing. Good old music. Qualify and satisfy. What is soul? They say the first record is where you got all your best stuff saved up and you put your best foot forward. They certainly did. But one record I like more than this. And you know what it is. Maggot Brain. How can you top Maggot Brain? For Pete's sake, in the 21st century, the last time I saw P-Funk live with George, the tour was called the Maggot Brain Tour. In 2010 something. Okay? That's how important that song is to Funkadelic and P-Funk. Even when they ditched all of the Wristbound songs for their iconic funk songs, they still kept Maggot Brain in the set. They had to do Maggot Brain. Maggot Brain, if you never heard Maggot Brain, fix it. Funkadelic Maggot Brain, studio version, listen to it. Of course, a whole bunch of live versions from bands other than Funkadelic too. It's an amazing guitar solo. That's basically what it is. It is just one heck of, or in the case of Lily Hayden, violin solo. But the rest of this is amazing too. Can you get to that? Hit it and quit it. You and your folks, me and my folks. Super stupid. Great rocker right there. Back in our minds. Ooh, that one. What's that instrument? I don't know what the instrument is. When you're wearing headphones, listen to it. Whoa. And Wars of Armageddon. A nice bookend to Maggot Brain. Long collage of the end of the world, basically. 1971. Tell you a short story about Maggot Brain. I don't know about your town. Does your town play Maggot Brain on classic rock radio? Mine does. Cleveland loves Maggot Brain. DJ, the old MMS, the overnight DJ, KLF Bash, the overnight DJ, when the bars closed, he would play Maggot Brain to calm down those drunks stumbling out of those bars. He would play Maggot Brain to calm them down. Maggot Brain has Quit and rock to it, and psych and all of that. Don't mistake it calming down drunks as a mellow song. Well, it has edge. Boy, howdy, it has edge. Look at the image on the cover. It has edge, just like the cover. So, from that, just the overnight DJ just loves the track, and he plays it 2:30 in the morning every night he's on. And after all these years, 50 years about, more maybe, it transcended the time, the time that it was aired, 2:30 in the morning when no one's listening. Maggot Brain in Cleveland is now played pretty much any time of day, but mostly in the evening. And a Facebook friend of mine tells a story, because I don't listen to terrestrial radio, as they say anymore, because I'm happy instead. I own all this stuff. Why do I want to listen to a radio station? My Facebook friend, is driving from the country south of Cleveland. He's driving home, at night. And he listens to terrestrial radio. So he has on one station. They play Maggot Brain. Very good. He enjoys it. On this dark country road, listen to Maggot Brain. Maggot Brain is a good song to play driving on a dark country road by yourself. Song lasts 9-10 minutes. It's not a short song. It jams. 9-10 minutes. That was great. Station puts on a different song, doesn't care for it. Pushes a button to another Cleveland rock station. Just in time to hear Maggot Brain played again on a different station from the start. I meant to hear Iggy Pop on my classic radio in Cleveland. But hey, I get Maggot Brain. And when I visit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here in Cleveland, I forgot to mention that part. I bought, like I said, he's from my neighborhood. Kid Funkadelic is from my neighborhood. Literally. Take me, 20 minutes to walk to his neighborhood where he was raised. Bought this at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How's that? And I lost my train of thought. Maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't. But whatever happened to, just so you know the story, so you get full education. Because, yeah, Funkadelic just becomes funk starting here. You get a fake Funkadelic. You want to learn what George Clinton contributed? Listen to this. Who's a Funkadelic? Well, I tell you who should be producing Funkadelic, because Lord how now, listen to this. George Clinton contributed something, because it sure is missing from this. I had to buy it because. Want to hear some rock and roll? 21st century, is this the 90s or 21st century? I forget. But Dope Dogs, this is what it's called? I guess so. Dope Dogs by P-Funk, Parliament Funk, whatever it says there, All Stars, all of that. Want to hear George Clinton get back to some rock and roll? Listen to this. You'll like it. But of course, what happened to George? Well, let's see if I gather the stuff I just buried. Ah, here we are. What happened to P-Funk? What went wrong? Well, George, he wanted to make money. Yeah, big old band. All kinds of people come in for a check. When I saw P-Funk first time, there was like 24 people in the band playing in shifts. Yeah, the horn section, you had 3 or 4 guitarists, 3 or 4 bass players, a couple keyboard players, 1 drummer, Dennis Chambers. Jazz people know I'm talking about Dennis Chambers. So he was the 1 drummer the whole night. 3 hours playing in shifts. And they got 3 hours of material. You betcha. So he's got mouths to feed. And to keep him happy, he went, okay, Bootsy, let's get you a solo deal. And I'll produce it. So George is doing Parliament for Casablanca Records. He's doing Funkadelic for Warner Brothers Records. Okay, Bootsy, I produce you too. Let's get you a contract. And of course, Bootsy's the most accomplished of the solo acts. Hey, Eddie Hazel, let's get you a solo deal. Sure. Fred Resley, let's get you a solo deal. Sorry. Get you a solo deal in the Horny Horns. Sure. Parliament. The background singers for Parliament. Let's get you a deal. Brides of Funkenstein got a deal. Everybody got a deal. And George had to produce all of it. So there was a new P-Funk record like every couple months. You know, yeah, lots of fun. Problem was the record labels kind of expect you to go tour for the record for a year. But, you know, Parliament has a day job. They could go tour with Parliament, the mothership. They can't just drop everything and tour just for their record. Not happening. Same thing with Fred and the Horny Horns or Bootsy. They can't drop everything and tour for their own record. They gotta go tour for the mothership. And yeah, that was a big arena tour and everything. But, and of course, that's a lot of, stretching George Clinton's attention and talent. Because, of course, he's producing and co-writing a lot of stuff. And some of the record companies got jealous of the other record company. I think there was a third record company involved in some of these bands. I forget. Lawyers were engaged. Leave it at that. So, the party. But then, when all the lawsuits are happening, it's all good. George figured out the one band name that wasn't being sued, that he could record under. George Clinton. Atomic Dog. And other records. So George got back on the bicycle after a while, after a year or two. So, P-Funk kept going. But it was kind of hard there for a while. So, did I mention everything I need to mention? Are we satisfied? You satisfied with where you need to start to listen to psych, funk rock, Funkadelic, Maggot Brain, self-titled, Funkadelic. And I just threw everything at my feet and stand on the verge again on and free your mind. Your ass will follow. Those four will take care of you. And then check out Cosmic Slop and America Eats Us Young. But remember, those two funk records issued by Westbound Funkadelic, they're funk. You want funk? Go there for Kid Funkadelic and Hardcore Jollies and that's Warner Brothers. Let's Take It to the Stage. That's the other one. Start with the funk rock and then grow from there. Go from there. Maggot Brain. Good thoughts, bad thoughts. There's some great tunes on there to be found. To be new to classic early 70s Funkadelic. Anyone really being a beginner, I envy you. Nothing quite like discovering it for yourself for the first time. Maggot Brain, self-titled Funkadelic. What did I say? Stand on the verge of getting on. Oh yeah. And free your mind, your ass will follow. Those four will take care of you. You like this video? Give it a like. We need to inform people about Funkadelic. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell. And leave a comment. Listen to some classic early 70s Funkadelic from the Westbound label. And of course you may already know that how you rank. However you want to do it. The 6, the 8. Just name your one or two fave songs. Does your city play Maggot Brain on terrestrial radio? Your city anywhere near as cool as mine? Let us know. And for latest in action rock, garage rock, and classic and legacy bands, come back here to Action Rock Corner. We'll have it for you. Remember, fresh music is as important as fresh food. Have fun with your music. And thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.